Hi, my name's Paul Grogan, and this morning I'm going to be playing a two-player game of Gwent with Marcus. So, Gwent is a new card game which has been released recently at UK Games Expo. The publisher of the game is a new company called No Loading Games, but this is actually being distributed in the UK by Hachette. So thank you very much to Hachette for this early copy of the game. It was released at UK Games Expo, and some of you may be familiar with this game because there is a computer game called The Witcher 3 that I've never played. Have you played it?
Yeah, I've played bits and pieces.
Okay. And within The Witcher 3 computer game, there is a card game within that game, which was called Gwent. And this is basically that. Now, Gwent also has a digital version that you can play on Steam and iPad. That is a game which is a development of this game. It is very similar, but also more adapted and different. This game, the physical card game, is going back to what it actually is within The Witcher 3. What we're going to do today is we're going to show you how the game plays, and we're going to play a two-player game of it. We are on a time limit today because we need to be leaving in about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
This is not a sponsored playthrough, so just heads up, but we hope we get all of the rules right. If it turns out we've got any of the rules wrong, I will put some Klingon subtitles into the video later. So if you're watching this back, please turn on the Klingon subtitles and you will see. Right.
Sort it out.
So there are 5 factions. There's the Northern Realms, the Monsters, can't remember what they're called, Scoatil, Skellige. Who are those guys? Anyway, I can't remember.
Spy people.
They
spy on you.
And what you do is each player chooses a faction and then builds a deck. Now, thankfully, the game comes with suggested starting decks for when you start playing it, but other cards are available, and there are rules on customizing your deck and how you play it. So I'm going to be playing Northern Realms today.
Monsters.
You're going to play Monsters. Okay, so we take these out of the way.
Yep.
And each of the decks works in a different way. They are very asymmetric, but you must have one leader in your deck. So there are, I think, 5 leaders included in the game. And you can tell it's a leader card because it has your faction icon in the top left. And the leader card actually starts off in play, face up. And some leaders have passive abilities. Mine has an active ability. This means that once in the whole game, I can use its ability. And what does your one do?
I am Eredin, King of the Wild Hunt, and I can pick any weather card from my deck and play it instantly.
Oh, okay.
So I can change the weather. I can bring in a fog.
Now, the deck construction rules are, there are a few different types of cards. Well, there's actually 2 different types of cards. There's unit cards, which have got a strength value in the top left, and some unit cards can be, he says trying to find one. Come on, there, leaders. So not leaders, heroes. So the heroes are units, so this is a unit, this is also a unit, but heroes have some special rules associated with them. That's one type of card. And then the other type of card is a special ability which doesn't have a strength number on it. And there are rules about what you need to do to build your deck. You need to have at least 22 units and no more than 5 special cards. And if you're playing a tournament, I believe there's a limit as well. You can have no more than 130 strength.
Total strength of all cards.
Yes. So if you've played, like me and Marcus, lots of 2-player head-to-head dueling wizard card games, this one does a few things very differently. So the first thing is you're going to shuffle your deck together, and that is your deck. And you will draw. I've got a rogue card in here. That's a spy.
There's a spy.
It's a spy from a previous playthrough.
They sneak in. I did think it looked a bit thicker than the other decks, and I was like,
So what you do is you shuffle your deck, and you present it to your opponent to cut it, just in case we have any shenanigans going on. Okay.
More spies.
More spies. What's that doing in there?
I'm going to do a quick spy check. You know why it was? Because we did that 2-player game.
We did that. We did the
2-player game.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay. We now have a legal deck.
Yeah.
Yay.
We did it.
Okay.
And that's why you should check your deck.
You should check your deck before you play. Top tip. Right. And then what you do is you draw 10 cards. Now, we're going to be playing best of 3, effectively. We have these gems here. And if you win a round, then your opponent loses a gem. And when your opponent has lost both of their gems, that's it. The game is over. But you're not going to draw any more cards for the rest of the game. So these 10 cards that you have, those are your 10 cards for the 3 games. This is very much a card management game. You might decide to go all in on round 1 but then all of a sudden you've got no cards left and you lose the next 2 rounds. So it's more a game about when you want, pick your battles, decide when you want to choose to fight. Now, normally a random player will go first. One of the factions, I believe, Scoatiel, has the ability to choose who goes first.
Yes, that's their ability.
So my special ability is, if I do win a round, I get to draw 1 card. So what I said about not drawing extra cards, that doesn't apply to me. If I win a round, I get an extra card.
Mine is I keep a random unit card after each round. So generally everything replenishes in between rounds.
Yeah.
I get to randomly
You get to keep one. Okay. So what we're going to be doing in a particular round is we're going to be playing cards onto the battlefield in one of 3 lanes. We have the melee lane, which is the front. Then we have ranged, and then we have siege. And then when the round is over, a winner is determined, and everything on the battlefield will clear, go to the discard pile, and then we play the second round. But again, with the remaining cards that you have in your hand.
Yeah.
So, flame or castle?
Castle, please.
It is
Ooh,
flame.
Flame, that's fair.
So I'm going to choose that you go first.
Cool. Are we doing mulligans?
Yeah, so there's a mulligan rule in the game, which is actually really important. It might not be important when you learn in the game, but once you've played the game a couple of times, you will realise why it's important. Each player may choose to take up to 2 cards from their hand, discard them, draw replacements, and then shuffle those cards back in. And the reason for that is you will have certain cards in your hand which work better if they're together with other cards, or there are other cards that allow you to go and fish cards from your deck. So you want those cards in your deck, you don't want them in your hand.
So I'm going to put Roach back into my deck.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Impenetrable Fog back in my deck.
Okay.
Because I can just summon it.
I'm going to put...
We'll draw 2 more cards.
Oh, this is interesting. Right. So I need to remind myself what that skill does. So there's a lot of icons in this game. Once you get used to them, you're fine. But again, there will be a little bit of a learning curve. I think it's... Yeah, it's that one. Okay, so I'm going to discard Crinfrid Reaver's Dragon Hunter.
Nice.
And that's it. I'm just going to discard that one. So I get a new one.
Deck of dragons.
Right, and I get...
That was not a happy face.
Guess what I drew?
Yep. Oh, is there Dragon Hunter by any chance?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And then those get shuffled into your deck.
They sure do.
Right, okay. So, what happens is, Marcus is going to take the first turn.
Yep.
You've got 3 options on your turn.
Because you're choosing me to go
Because I choose you to go first.
Yeah.
So you either play a card, which is basically take a card from your hand and play it onto the battlefield. We'll explain that more when it happens. Or you use your leader ability.
Yeah.
Or you pass. When you pass, you can't play any other cards for the rest of that round.
Yeah.
Your opponent will carry on playing cards if they want to. And when both players have passed, that's when you evaluate the battlefield. So, it's your first turn. Do you want to play a card or pass?
I will indeed play a card, and I am going to summon a Vampire Feeder into the army room.
Yeah, so I'll just show you this card in detail and show you how the cards work. So this is a 4-strength unit. It's played onto the melee row, which is what that icon means, and it has a special ability. So the special ability, sometimes they're explained in text, but generally speaking, you need to look at your faction's reference card for what the icon does. So this is a muster ability, which basically means Marcus can now go through his deck, and as it says here, you're going to find all vampire cards and play them instantly. So not only has that one come out, which has got 4 strength, but you get that vampire card and that vampire card. Wow. And that vampire card. Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay, so monsters are all about getting cards out of your deck.
They sure are.
And this is why the deck construction is important, because if you built that deck, you would have put those vampires in there.
Vampire in, yeah.
And as long as you have one in hand, that one can come out.
So for one card, I've had this value.
Which is, what, 21 strength?
Yeah.
So we track the strength on here, so you've got 21. And then it's my go.
Sure is.
And I could pass. I could say, I'll tell you what, you have round 1.
Yeah.
And you've obviously done a super special thing. For me to beat this round is going to be quite tricky. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a hero.
Yeah.
Avalach. Right? He's a spy.
Oh.
Now, spies are played on the opponent's side of the table.
They sure are.
Now, this particular spy is very good because he doesn't have any strength. So I'm going to give that to you. But whenever I play a spy, I get to draw 2 cards from my deck.
Nice.
Okay. And that was my go. So back to you. Now, you could pass. Marcus could pass at this point, which you might think he's quite safe because he's currently winning. But then if I wanted to, I could continue to play cards to try and get more than 21. The tricky thing is, the decision that Marcus has to make is, you could do that. You've got to think, how many cards am I going to have to play to beat it? Because if I'm going to have to play 5 cards to beat that, sure, we're going to round 2. I've only got 6 cards. You've still got 9.
Which throws the decision off with your faction ability. Because if you win,
if I win a round, I get a card.
So which means you can always go 1 card deeper.
Yes.
Because you're going to get the reward of the card back.
Yes.
I am going to keep playing.
You are going to keep playing?
I'm going to keep playing.
Okay.
Because here you have to play it to win it. I'm going to put a spy in myself.
Oh, it's the same guy.
It's the same guy. The same guy of
So
spies.
you get 2 cards.
So I get 2 cards.
Oh, that changes things.
Changes things a little bit, yeah.
Right. Okay. So, let's make a decision. I am going to play. I think I can do this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do this.
We'll do it, and then we'll say no. I'll be the rules police if I need to. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm going to play Decoy.
Oh, okay.
Now, Decoy is an amazing card because it's a special card. It doesn't have any strength, but what I do is I recall a unit on my side of the battlefield. Hi, this is Paul in the editing room. Just to let you know that this was a rules mistake here. You cannot play the Decoy card on a hero card. You can only play it on non-hero cards. So this was a mistake. Apologies for that, but just to let you know what the actual rule is. So I'll take that back into my hand. Even though your card...
Even though, yeah.
Yep, it says, replace 1 unit card excluding heroes on the controlling player's side of the battlefield. The replaced unit card returned to the player's hand. The decoy has got a strength of 0.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Back to me.
Back to you.
I'm going to play a Commander's Horn.
So, Commander's Horn, what that does is it doubles, you choose a row, and it doubles the strength of all of your units on that row.
Indeed.
So instead of having 21, you've effectively got 42.
Yeah.
It wouldn't double everything, but because Marcus has only got 1 row.
We have now done the movie Sinners. There's a vampire jazz band.
Wow.
They're having a good time.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you your spy back.
Yeah.
And draw 2 cards.
I love that. I am now going to pass.
Okay, so I need to make a decision about how much effort I want to put into round 1 to try and win it. How many cards you got in your hand?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Wow,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to say... No, I'm going to pass.
Okay.
So we both passed. Marcus wins the round with 42-0.
Yeah.
So I've lost that round.
Yeah.
And then the battlefield clears. So
Yeah.
all of these go to the discard pile.
So one random stays.
1 random unit.
So I think we put it together, we shuffle up.
We've got a card in there. You're just going to have to pick a number. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 to 7.
Oh.
Is it one of yours or just one?
It just says keeps a random unit card after each round.
Yeah, so 1 to 7.
We'll go 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one stays on the battlefield.
Okay.
Okay, and then those go to your discard.
Yes.
Right.
And it's on the battlefield, so it doesn't get the play effect.
Correct,
So
yes.
it won't get to must.
Okay, that's round 1 done. We now go into round 2.
Yeah.
The player who won the previous round goes first.
Goes first, indeed. So I am going to go big and just play.
Geralt of Rivia.
Go. Hey, he's on the box.
He is. So this is a 15 strength unit that's also a hero. Now, the special rule about heroes is that they can't be affected by other cards. So that Commander's Horn, which doubled the value of all of the cards on there, doesn't affect heroes. So it doesn't affect them in a positive way, but also they're immune to negative effects as well. And his coming into play effect is you can muster Roach. So he goes and gets Roach.
And that's why I put Roach back on my deck.
Yeah. So you've now got a total strength of 22.
Yes.
Okay. Right, over to me. I have to win this round. If I don't win this round, it is game over.
So my choice is either I can, depending on if Paul was down on cards,
Yeah.
I could just play one, put a high point level and go, well, match it, and then we'll go to the third. But
So I'm going to play this character. Now, this character goes in my ranged row.
yeah.
It's Crinfrid Reaver's Dragon Hunter. Now, he has the ability of Tight Bond. And it basically multiplies the strength of this unit by the number of allies with the same name. So because there's only one of him, I've only got 5 strength.
You can't use decoy. Gabriel's in the chat. You can't use decoy
On Avalanche because he's a hero. Okay, apologies for that. We can't fix that. It's too late now. That was a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
But good to know. So I slightly cheated.
That's fine.
You can't play decoy on heroes.
That's some spy behaviour.
Okay. I knew they weren't affected by abilities.
Yeah.
Oh, it is an ability.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I guess
Apologies for that.
So they can't be scorched either and so on. And
Yeah. Yeah. I will add some Klingon subtitles into the video at that point a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
I suspect we are live streaming this today as a private stream. Gabriel is watching us, but I suspect Gabriel is watching 3 or 4 minutes behind the actual what is live.
Hello, Gabriel.
So I played that. I've got 5 strength.
Yes.
It's your go.
All good, thank you.
So you can't play decoys on heroes. Yeah,
No.
That makes sense.
You know what? I am going to play Scorch.
Okay. So Scorch says, send to the discard pile the unit cards with the highest strength, excluding heroes, on the whole battlefield. So not counting heroes.
Yeah.
The unit on the battlefield with the highest strength is this one.
Yes.
So this goes.
Yeah.
Sad times.
I wanted it to go before Tybon comes in.
Oh dear. So my other one,
Yes.
he turns up and goes, where's my mate?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, we need another plan. And I think I can do this. Yes. You'll like this.
I'm going to love it. It's going to be...
Okay.
What a day.
So,
what a Saturday morning.
Yennefer of Vengerberg comes in. She's a ranged hero. And her ability, she's a medic.
Oh, yeah!
So a medic allows me to go and get 1 card from my discard pile and put it back into play. So my strength is now 12.
Nice.
There you go. Your go.
Thank you. I'm going to put down a carrot.
So this is an interesting card because this can be played either in the melee row or the ranged row. It's a hero, so it adds 8 to your strength, so you're up to 30. But it also has a morale boost. So a morale boost is going to add 1 strength to every other card in that row, except for heroes. So basically, you get an extra 2 strength.
Yeah.
This vampire and roach is boosted. Okay. My go.
Yes.
I'm going to play Crinfrid Reaver's Dragon Hunter Part 2.
Nice.
So because of the tight bond, these are both worth 10. So I'm now on 27.
Yes.
And you're on 32
I'm
at
on
the
32
moment.
at the moment.
You've got 9 cards in hand.
You've got 9 cards.
9 cards in hand. Because I cheated earlier and decoyed the spot.
That's fine. I've got 6. I think I'm going to be okay, maybe. So, I'm going to play a crone. Which
Okay.
allows me to search for other crones.
So it's another melee character.
Yes.
Find all crones in your deck or hand and
Yes.
play them instantly. How many have you got? Is it 3?
Yes.
Oh, so 1 was in your
One
hand.
was in my hand, which is inefficient.
Yeah,
but
but
it's
that's
fine.
18 strength. So you're up to 50.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And all the art is different, which I like.
I like.
I like the fact it's all different art.
Simon didn't like it.
No,
I
but
like
I understand from a... He plays a lot of competitive.
Yeah, and
Like
you want to be
cards.
able to see it.
Yeah, but I like the fact that they've got their own little coven.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're cool in the games.
So I'm gonna play. Now don't get this guy wrong. His name is inappropriate. He's such a nice guy. He's called Death Mold.
Okay.
It's basically just a ranged unit with 6 strength.
Yeah.
So
you're in the range row, right? So
yeah, they're in the range row. So I go up to 33.
Yeah.
Now
These
remember,
are all 7 as well, by the way, right?
Oh, they're
Because
all
of
7.
yeah.
cute.
No problem.
So remember, I have my leader's ability, full test. So once in the whole game, I can double the strength of all of my units. Oh, I read the icon wrong. It's on the siege row.
It's on the siege row.
It's on the siege row. It's on the back row.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That was my plan. I was going to double all of these, but never mind.
That's okay. You might have a commander sword.
You'll go.
Cool.
53 plays 33.
I'm going to play an Arrakis.
Yeah.
And I'm going to find all my other Arakises. Find all regular Arrakis cards.
This is how monsters work. Monsters just multiply, and we're going to need a bigger table.
Yeah.
So that comes.
But you play one weather condition and I'm done.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Biting frost is going to lock them all
Biting
down.
Frost will just lock it all down. But hey, go big or go home.
So that's 5. That's 5 because this morale boost is permanently affecting everything. So that's another 15.
Yeah.
So you're up to 68.
Sure am.
Oh dear.
Would you like to cut my deck? Even
No,
though I'm
that's fine.
definitely going to be searching in it in a second.
So I'm just going to play Kira Metz on here for another 5.
Nice.
I'm on 38. You'll go.
Nice. I'm going to play a Commander Swan.
So we're here again.
Yeah.
The Commander's Horn is basically going to double. Well, it doesn't double the heroes.
No.
So it isn't going to double what you've got.
But all muster effects happen first, and then the doubling happens on top of it.
Not the muster, the morale boost.
The morale boost,
Yes.
sorry, yeah.
So you're going to get an extra.
So that's
an
10,
extra
20,
15,
30, yeah.
An extra 19, an extra 24,
Yeah.
and an extra 30.
21.
21.
Yeah.
So what did I say?
No. Maths.
15, 19, 24, 21 is an extra 45.
Extra 45.
So you're up to 103, I believe.
Yes.
So 103 is what you're currently on. And you've got 2 cards left in hand.
I've got 2 cards left.
So I'm really hoping you can't do much more.
Yeah.
But I think I'm in a bit of trouble. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to win this round. I mean, I'll try. I've got to try because
I believe in you. I believe in the heart of the cards.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, I have to just play everything and try and win the round.
Yeah.
So I'll play a trebuchet to the back row, to the siege row. It's 6. So that puts me up to 44. Your go.
Nice.
Are you still playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to play a Necker. And I will search for all other Neckers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I think this is game over.
So that comes from my hand, and I believe there's maybe 1 or 2 more in here.
So that's worth 3 because of the morale boost and then doubled for the horn. So that's 6. That's another 6. That's another 12.
Yeah. I think it says final regular Arrakis.
And then another
Go
6.
get the Behemoth, because the Behemoth is different. Just to confirm that rule. So this says search all regular Arrakis. This is Arrakis Behemoth.
Yeah, so
I assume we
I don't
get
think it'll be that.
But if I play the Behemoth, I would get all my other spiders.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. So you're on 121.
Yeah.
And you've got how many cards in hand? No.
I've got no cards in hand, but I still have a leader ability.
Your leader ability allows you to go and get a weather
Search
card
a weather,
from your deck. Okay. Well, I've got to try and win this round, so we will play Vess
Nice.
up on the Mellow for 5. That's not going to do it.
I now have my leader ability.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to do my leader ability.
Okay, so you get to go through your deck and look for a weather card and play it instantly.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of different weather cards that affect different parts of the battlefield.
So I think I'm going to put in Torrential Rain, which will make all your siege.
Well, all of our siege units.
Yeah, our siege
It
unit
affects both sides.
1, just in
Yeah.
case you've got loads of siege and then you double
So
it.
it's raining.
Yes, it is raining. There's torrential rain. That was brought on because of Eredin of the Wild
yeah.
Hunt.
So place up into the weather cards area. All the strength of all siege units is set to 1 for both players.
Yeah.
So that's a weather card. That's affecting both of us. So the default strength of this is 1. So I can double it to 2.
Yes.
Yay.
It was just to stop maybe it going crazy.
But now you have no cards in hand,
No.
and you have your leader abilities gone.
Yes.
So I'm going to play Roach for 3, which is not the best card to have in hand.
No. Now I just sit here, chat.
Yeah,
I just sit here and
this is
see
not
if there's
ideal.
anything that can
This
stop
would be
the monster
amazing because
for-
I've got a healer.
Right.
So I could play the healer to heal a unit,
Yeah.
and then I could decoy them back to my hand and play them
But you've only
again.
got a decoy in
But
your...
the only thing I've got in here is a decoy.
Right.
So it doesn't actually work.
No.
So I can play that. Oh, I lose 5 because of that, but then I gain another 1 for that, so I actually lose 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I got this guy, and he needs friends for him to be made better, which I don't have.
Yeah.
And then I've got a commander's horn, which I'll play on this row.
Yes.
So it actually gives me an extra. So these are interesting because these
They're
are 10
20
each.
now.
So they become 20 each. So I get an extra 20.
Yeah.
I get an extra 31. 1, 2, 3, 4. No.
Cool.
And then I've got a decoy. So that's it. You won. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. The monster horde.
That was a. I mean,
if you had a biting frost though, I would have been done. And I assume there is a biting frost in
there's
there.
a biting frost in this deck.
So you have to just go on vibes a bit, and then there's a clear weather effect in here,
Yeah.
which clears weather.
Right.
But I smelt blood on the water, and I was like, I'm just going to
Yeah.
go for it, round 2.
So what's interesting about this game? The more you play it, and the more you get used to the different factions. I now know monsters are going to splurge out loads and loads of units onto the melee row.
Yes.
Biting Frost is the counter for that because what it does is it reduces them all to strength 1.
Yeah.
So the next time I play this deck against monsters, I will mulligan 2 cards to try and get this.
Yeah.
I will try to make sure I get this in my hand whenever I can. But that is a quick introduction of Gwent. This isn't obviously a full how to play video, but it gave you an idea. One thing that I will mention just before we go is when I started playing the digital adaptation of this game, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all because I'm so used to games which are more complicated, where you have mana and you spend mana to cast spells. And I looked at this and I was like, this is just way too simple. All I'm doing is I play a card, you play a card, I play a card, you pass, we add up the strength, and whoever's got the high strength wins. And I didn't see the depth of the game until you actually play it. And then it becomes, like I said, a very much a card management game of how much effort do I want to put into this?
It's resource management. It's knowing when to go, like which gear you want to go into each turn, and pacing of it.
Yes.
And like, which is cool because like in other card games, you have decks that are constructed around aggro, mid-range, which are all buzzwords, but generally it just means when are they going to win in the game? Are they going to win early? They're going to sort of dawdle in the middle and like have attrition, or are they going to win very late into the game?
Yeah.
Which is normally designed straight on the deck. With Gwent, you kind of have to like work out that in your 10 cards.
Yes.
And it's always going to be different.
Yeah.
You're like, right, okay, I think that I can win round 1.
Yeah.
Get up pace, and you can tank round 2 to get up on cards and then go into round 3.
Yeah.
Or like in this, it's like, well, I think I can just
try
to
it.
roll over 1 and 2.
Now, one other thing, if you've watched this video and you thought, oh, well, this is clearly imbalanced, the monster player was always going to win, it's a short game.
Yeah.
You can play a game of this in like 20 minutes. So for me, the luck factor of one player having, oh, I've got just the right cards and I can do this, is like, yeah, you pack it away, whatever. I was a bit unlucky with my cards in that I only had one of these.
Yeah.
And this has got a tight bond ability, so I would need more of them to make that work. But because it's a short game, it's fine.
Yeah. And like I said, I was able to, I had a hand that had each of the different creatures. Because if I drew all the vampires in my hand, that's not particularly that great.
No.
But I had a vampire, I had Arrakis, they were kind of spread out a bit.
And,
it's fine.
And the vampire goes and gets all of the other vampires, the Neckers go and get all of the other Neckers.
And also having 2 command horns in this deck is interesting.
Yeah.
Because you can like spread it out. But I think the decks generally are pretty balanced. There are some that might be above, but we played some games the other day, swap decks, and then it felt still just, it's just how you play it, I think. But there are lucky.
And these are the rest of the monster cards that you get in the game. So there's a choice of 5 leaders. You will choose one of the leaders to be. And then, you can build your deck with anything. The rules are at least 22 units, no more than 5 special cards, no more than 2 spies, no more than 2 of something else.
Yes.
And no more than 130 strength
130
in total.
altogether.
And you can see how building your deck, you don't want to just play one vampire.
No.
because the vampires go and get the other vampires. So you
Yeah.
need to have more of them.
And I think the leader's like common because there's a leader called Skellig, which is weather effects are only half against him.
Yeah.
So against this, when I bring out weather effects, they wouldn't care.
Yeah.
And they would probably have quite a lot of weather themselves.
Yeah.
So they'll bite and frost and stuff. Yeah. So the interaction between the different leaders, of course. Like I said, I've played Witcher 3.
Yeah.
The reason why I didn't complete Witcher 3 is because Gwent was in it.
Right. Okay.
And I was just going to taverns playing
You
Gwent.
got distracted.
And everyone was like, oh yeah, the story in this. And I'm like, nah, Gwent.
Yeah.
Just give me Gwent.
Cool. Right, we're all done. Thank you very much for watching. This was not a sponsored video, so a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for funding the channel. And if you like the content that I create, you can support me at patreon.com/gaming rules. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.